Got a good question from our buddy Beau, who has a unique opportunity that has been handed to him. He is in the situation where the black belt in his gym has left, and he is the next in command, and so the job of head instructor has been handed to him. And he's wondering, he has a lot of questions on his mind. He's all over the place because it just happened, and he's just trying to get a grip on it. But he sent me a message, and we were talking, and one of the big things that is on his mind, among other things, but this is the big one, is he asks, what he's concerned about is how to maximize his potential as a BJJ practitioner so he can be the sort of coach everyone likes. And he wants to be good for both himself and the people at his gym. He says he feels like he teaches well, but he wants to know how he can focus on his own progression without a black belt there to train with regularly. So first off, Beau, thanks for the question, dude. And I told you in the email I have a soft spot for you in my heart because I was in the same position that you were in 2009. I was handed a head instructor spot just like you, and I had no clue what I was doing. No one, not many. I think there are some people, and I do, but no one hands you in a handbook and says, "Hey, here's how to be an instructor. Here's how to do this stuff." For me, I got a slap in the ass and a good luck. And there were so many questions racing through my mind, and the biggest thing for me, I think, which is where you're at, is this fear of how am I going to get better? And I have to get better because there's people behind me looking up to me, and I have to pull them along with me, so I have to get better. So how do I do that? So first off, I'm just going to kind of break your question down a little bit. So you were worried about, you want to be the coach that everyone likes, right? Well, first of all, let me tell you that you know what kind of coaches people like? The ones that care. So the first thing that you need to do with this new head instructor spot is make sure that your core guiding principle is that you give a shit. That when you do something, that the way that you are going to serve these people is here, right? That should be the first thing on your mind. Not how much money can I make on these people, right? How much money can I just wrench out of these people? It should be, hey, how am I going to serve these people? Because you've been given this very cool opportunity, and you get the unique situation to share this amazing gift with someone, right? You have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What an amazing gift to give to someone. Right, and I'm not being cheesy at all. I'm talking about over the years. I've been here as a head instructor for 7 years, and I could go on for hours telling you the cool stories and the impact that I've made on people's lives. Right, everyone from young kids to old men, and it's such a cool feeling to be a part of that. And that's what you have now. You have that opportunity in you. So right, so how amazing is that? So when you do things, make sure that when you're making decisions and when you're getting into this, always go back to, how am I serving these people? Am I serving them well? Am I giving them my best, right? Because ultimately, that's the kind of instructor, that's the kind of coach that people like, okay? Because when people come into the gym, like new people, they're not gonna know, they don't know anything really about jiu-jitsu. They might know a little bit about it, but they don't really know that much about it. So you're a brown belt now. I'm sure you have a rock solid foundation that you can share with these new people, right, which will help them. And then with your older members, as long as you continue to take in new information and bring it down to them, which I'll talk about in a second, you'll be good. But the fact that you'll be there, you'll be 100% invested in those people goes a long way, because I'll tell you, I've had lots and lots of members come to my gym over the years from other gyms, and not once has one of those members told me, you know why I left my gym? Because I had this really cool, humble instructor who was there for me. He was in the trenches with me, working out. He was available to answer my questions, and he was really trying hard to, improve all the people around us. No one ever says that. You know what they say to me, though, is they say, you know what, I went in there and I felt like a dollar sign. I went in there and the coach was never there. Or when I came in, the coach was texting on his phone all the time and then would look at me and say, hey, by the way, we've got some stuff for sale. Or he just was cashed out. There's a million things I could say like that, but that's the kind of stuff that I get, is when people just don't care. So if you want to be the coach that everybody likes, just genuinely have their best interest at heart, because it goes a long way. And if you have that as a driving factor, you will figure out a lot more than you think. Again, there's all these little tips and tricks and strategies that we could get into, that we could flesh out that whole thing. But ultimately, if your driving force is, can I make these people better? How am I going to make them better? Right? You'd be surprised at how much of a powerful energy that is. Now, getting into your own training, right? Again, if you go back to what I just said, if you want to make those people better and you feel tethered to them, right? Because you're in front and you're trying to pull them along with you, right? That's the way that you feel. That's the way that I felt. And so because you have that drive, trust me, you'll be surprised at what that does. If you have this deep burning desire that you want to improve, you will improve. And I promise you probably know this because you already teach a little bit. When you teach techniques, when you digest them and really break them down bit by bit and then bring them back up and share them to someone else, you remember those techniques on a deeper level than you do if you just are shown them, right? If you just see them. It's like reading a book and then studying that book and then writing down notes and then sharing it with someone else and telling them what you learned. If you do that second situation, right, you're gonna learn things on such a deeper level. And so you're gonna find that you're often going to improve because you're teaching more, because you're gonna have such a deeper knowledge about the whole game. I know that as a brown belt, I didn't have the deepest knowledge about jiu-jitsu, but because I wanted to make myself better in order to make the people behind me better, because again, I'm in the front and I'm like, come on guys, I'm pulling you along with me. Because those people are behind me, because I feel tethered to them, because I have this drive to push myself forward in order to make them better, I pushed myself and I found resources, videos, DVDs, seminars. I would travel for several hours and train. It's like some mornings I would go down to my buddy Sean Hammond's down in Tennessee. I would drive 3 hours at 6 a.m., get down there, train for a few hours, learn from him personally because he's a very good black belt. And then I would come up here and train at 11 and start showing them what I did there. You know what I mean? You get the idea. You will find a way to make it work because you have a burning desire in you to make that happen. And there's a million ways you can go about it. There's not just one way to make it happen. There's a lot. But it all comes back to the fact that you want to serve those people, because as a jiu-jitsu practitioner who is now a coach, you are a servant to these people and you are there to serve them and make them better and enrich their lives with this amazing gift that you've been given over the years and that you can now give them. So I will stop rambling, brother, but listen. Enjoy the opportunity. It's very unique. I know you're a little nervous right now. You have a lot of questions. Those questions will be answered over time. Make sure that you keep those people behind you in your mind when you're making decisions. And again, you will be surprised at what you learn by being a consistent teacher and being on the mat all the time and really having to break moves down so that you can make them easily applicable to other people's games. So Beau, good luck, brother. Thanks for the question.